Well, welcome back to the channel. I had 3 days off, so I decided a trip to the Southern Flinders Ranges would be nice. I spent from age 5 to 15 in Port Augusta, and I thought it would be nice to see some of the old neighbourhood. It was a beautiful winter's day, and I decided to stop in at Georgetown and get a coffee before I head off to Wilmington. When I arrived, I booked into the local caravan park. I took a small workers' cabin. The temperature overnight was going to be about -2 degrees, and I didn't really feel like camping in that kind of weather. After talking to the caravan park's caretaker, he gave a couple of suggestions of where I could go and have a quick look around. One of them was Hancock's Lookout, and I thought I'd go and have a quick look at it. Early the next morning, it's time to head north from Wilmington towards Quorn, and then beyond that to Warren Gorge. It was quite cold overnight. The temperature on the screen is showing at about just above zero. There's a bitumen road that takes you out to Quorn, but I decided to take Gunya Road. Gunya Road looked like it might be a little bit more scenic. As I knew I was going to be out of phone range a lot on this trip, I bought myself a new Garmin InReach Messenger, so I thought I'd test it out and send a quick message back home to say everything was okay. Travelling through the gullies, you could feel the temperature go down and the screen was showing below zero. Plenty of frost on the ground as well. But once in the sun, you started to warm up and the scenery became even better. Arriving in Quorn, I grabbed a quick coffee to warm myself up and then headed out towards Warren Gorge. The road to Warren Gorge is now all bitumen. Last time I was out here, it was dirt all the way out. Now the dirt only starts once you hit the actual gorge. The scenery on the way out is wonderful. You're heading towards the ranges, you can see the big hills in the distance. The gorge itself is beautiful. It's a camping area, so I think I'll make plans to come back here when the weather warms up a bit. Coming back from Warren Gorge, there's a turn off towards Dutchman's Stern. The hills on the left there apparently looks like the stern of a Dutch boat. The track travels through private property. It takes you to the end, there's a walking track and also just a viewing area. Now finished out at Warren Gorge, I decided it's time to head into Port Augusta. Port Augusta had two main industries, the railways and the power station. They've pulled down the power station now and replaced it with wind farms and solar farms. The causeway into Port Augusta splits Bird Lake into two, although it's very rare to see water on the right-hand side. A quick ride past of my old primary school, Augusta Park Primary, and then heading down to the street to see what the old house looks like. These houses were built in the late 1960s to help accommodate people coming across from England and Scotland to work on the railways and on the power station. It doesn't look like there's been much done to update them since the late 1960s. After that, I decided to check out the old soccer field. It's been grown over for about 50 years. You can still see the horse track is still there, and on the other side of the horse track you can see the sand dunes where we used to go riding and playing. One of the main reasons to go to Port Augusta was to go out north of Port Augusta to Yorkeys Crossing. This is where we used to always take our bikes and go out riding, the big salt flat out there with an island in the middle. The gravel road had been graded recently, which means that although flat, it's now very slippery. With so many stones on the ground, it's like riding on marbles. There's a really good sandy track that runs right next to the salt lake. Riding on a track like this is most enjoyable. After spending some time on the Salt Lake, I decided to continue back onto the Yorkeys Crossing Road and head all the way around, returning to Port Augusta a slightly different way. Arriving in Port Augusta across the Joy Belush Bridge, which I was there for the opening in about 1972, and then continued on back to Wilmington to have a meal at the pub and get ready to head home tomorrow. Well, after another freezing night, I left it till a little bit later in the morning to get moving. Time to leave Wilmington, start heading south, head back towards Adelaide. But first, stopping in at Melrose to get breakfast and a coffee. sunny weather looked nice, but I still had as many clothes as I could fit underneath my motorbike jacket. Trying to stick to dirt a bit, I took Survey Road between Melrose and Warrabara, a nice scenic route. Leaving Warrabara, I'm heading out towards the bluff to have a look at a new lookout that's been put up there. The road alternates between being bitumen and dirt. It's an easy enough ride on the bike, but there are some warning signs everywhere that tell you do not take towed vehicles on this road. The reason becomes apparent further up where the road narrows and it would be almost impossible to get two vehicles past one another. At the end of the road is a short walk, probably only 100 metres, to get to the platform that overlooks the entire Gulf. So I'm going to end this video here. I've blown a fork seal on the bike and I'm just going to cruise home on the bitumen road. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later. Bye.